Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at something that's in the first city of Dawntrail, so for that reason alone, this video contains spoilers for that particular zone, and obviously will require us to go to other zones as part of a quest line. So if you do not want to know anything about the zones in Dawntrail, please turn off now. If not, then keep watching, because this is a long quest line with obviously a bit of a guide component to it. So if you want to get yourself the Cornservant Minion, you might have seen it on various social media sites and things like that. There's actually a quest that unlocks that's available to level 90. It is obviously a synced quest at the end of the pier here in Tuliyollal. So the closest teleport is probably going to be Wakumekumeki. It's kind of in between that and the Bayside Bevy, but it's on this pier. It's called Corn of Necessity is the start quest. Again, you need to have completed the MSQ quest, The Rite of Succession, which is sort of midway through the actual storyline, so it's pretty early on. But of course, you will need to have access to all of the zones. 5 zones apart from the 6 you will need to have access to. So this is something you might want to come back to once you've completed the entire storyline. So as you can see, it says Curious Corn, Corn of Necessity. You happen upon a curious cup of corn that almost seems alive. There's a series of cutscenes, which I won't show you. So the first thing that this quest actually involves you doing is taking the Corn Servant on a bit of a trip. So you can see these areas to go to, and there's a various amount of dialogue I will leave out of the video. That's the first part. And essentially, once you've gone to those locations, very easily marked on the map, as you saw, it'll give you some Turali corn, 2 of these pieces of ingredient, and also 418,000 EXP, which is actually pretty good, obviously. And then the next time you see this, you will need to have completed the level 90 MSQ quest called Knowing the Pelu Pelu, which is actually in Urqopacha. So if you want to know where the second part is once you finish the first, obviously at the Wakan Pelo, which is the northern Aetheryte, just outside of Tuliyollal, you will need to have obviously completed the first part, Corn of Necessity, and also the Rite of Succession, and you also need the Knowing the Pelu Pelu MSQ quest completed as well. And then there'll be another Corn of Necessity cutscene. And then after a little bit of dialogue, we'll get some more Turali corn and another 418,000 EXP, and off the Corn Servant goes. The next part then will require us to actually go to Kozama'uka. And for the Kozama'uka questline, which is called Stretched Thin, which is again another level 90 synced questline if you want to get the EXP, it's called Stretched Thin. You must have also completed the previous steps as well as the level 90 MSQ quest, Knowing the Hanu Hanu. So basically this is a quest line that I think we probably should have done alongside the MSQ originally, but I'm kind of glad that I did it now so I can do it all in one. But as you can see, right over at the Okhanu northern Aetheryte section, just out of Tuliyollal, you'll find the Corn Servant just on this bridge, and then proceeds with another section of storyline. And then after a little bit of running around and talking again, we get another 418,000 EXP, and there's that quest completed. Next, we need to go over to Yak T'el. And then over at Yak T'el, you will, if you have completed the questline so far, as well as the level 94 MSQ quest, Taking a Stand, you will also have access to this over here, just south of the Urqopacha Aetheryte here in Yak T'el, which is obviously over here in the northwest of the zone, and you'll find a stomach for change. So we simply go over there and pick up the next part of this quest line. Once again, a bit of running around and a bit more dialogue. And then once again, there's some more EXP, and off the Corn Servant goes to the next zone, which is of course Shaaloni. The next leg of our adventure then obviously brings us to the southern Aetheryte, which is Husatwawi. I don't know how to pronounce that, just obviously north of Tuliyollal itself, the first area we get to. And you'll find the quest Tastes Like Home just behind a few of these shacks over here. So let's go and pick that quest up in particular. This to show, we'll need to have the level 95 MSQ quest completed called Law of the Land. and obviously the previous quest line up until this point as well. And as you can see, more dialogue ensues. And then we're getting close towards the end. We've got a couple more places to go. The next place to go to is Heritage Found. So over here in Heritage Found, it's actually at the outskirts Aetheryte, which is just outside Solution 9, which is obviously the second Aetheryte you get to in the zone. And you will find the quest Refined Tastes just to your east. So there's Solution 9, and there's the Cornservant next to a wall. And this obviously will continue the second till last bit of dialogue before the end. And once we've handed in that quest and talked to one of the characters, we have our final leg, which is to go to Solution 9 itself. And then finally, once we're in Solution 9 on the map, you will see various different places. There is actually a quest called Tasteful Memories to the east. Obviously, we can use the conveyor to get there, or we can teleport there via the True View teleport, which is obviously to the east of the main Aetheryte in Solution 9. So let's go and do that. To have the quest Tasteful Memories actually appear, you must have completed the level 99 MSQ quest, which is called Unto the Summit, which obviously leads upon the end of the game, basically, for Dawntrail itself. You must also have completed Refined Taste and all of the previous quests as well. But once you hop over here via the conveyor, you will find the Cornservant, and this is actually the last part of the quest line with more dialogue. But as you can see, you actually get the Cornservant as a minion. And just like that, we have finished the storyline. A little bit of running around, obviously hopping between zones, but there we go. We have ourselves the Cornservant minion added to our collection, which is really nice for a side quest to have a minion associated with it. It's been a long time since we had something like that. So let's go and have a look at this minion together. Alright, here we are in the Grand Cosmos, because it's always the same time of day and always pleasant weather, thankfully. So let's look at this minion together. This is the Cornservant then. It says, summon your Cornservant minion. Will never let you go hungry. At the conclusion of your travels with the Cornservant, the corn-shaped spirit that provides sustenance to the hungry, the being quietly left one of its kernels in your bag. That kernel quickly grew into another Cornservant, which ever regards you anxiously, worried that you might require a feed. Well, it does look tasty. And it says, where there are those in need of sustenance, I will be there. A quote of a Cornservant. Which, yeah, just a reminder of another great quest line, quite honestly. I'm really happy with this one. So this is what the minion looks like then. Obviously, in terms of its height, it is quite a small one in relation to my character, but it is an incredibly well detailed one. I think most people will agree. Let's get nice and close and personal to it. Look at the texture quality on this. I can't believe I'm saying that to a piece of corn, right? At what point did I get to this point where we're going, oh my god, look at the texture quality of that ribbon. This is the standard for things going forward, and it's never going to get old for me. I love the little tuft of, well, hair, I guess, at the top from the actual corn itself, where it was probably taken from a plantation. We've got ourselves little stubby feet and hands, slightly hovering above the floor, by the way. Never actually touches the floor for some reason. Really nice. As far as a corn on a cob can look nice. I do want to put butter on this and put it in the oven in like a Pyrex jug, like a bowl with a lid on it with some water, and then have, corn on a cob. So good. So in terms of its emotes then, we can get it to feed from a hand with a hand over if we've got a pet collection title on. I believe it does without as well. And if we do a pet, it does nothing. But a poke, yeah. A poke gets it to basically jump out of its skin, very literally, which is highly entertaining. Highly entertaining. Let's see that again, but up close and personal. But yeah, what's not to love, right? You've got to have your funny minions as well as your super serious ones in regards to NPCs. I think this is a great addition to the collection. I was very surprised that there was such a well thought out quest line. And I wish I had actually done the questline as I had leveled through the storyline myself. It wasn't until I had actually finished the storyline I was like, why is there a piece of corn on the end of a pier? And I think most people probably had the same thing, because I was saving all of my side quests for other jobs, right? So I just went through you know, ultimately on 1 or 2 jobs through the MSQ. So this was a pleasant surprise. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Why would you not want a piece of corn added to your collection? I know I did. Anyway, let me know if you're going to get this one yet. Obviously, follow the steps if you need to. And of course, I'll put a pinned comment with just all the coordinates as well if you can't be bothered to watch that, which is absolutely fine. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm probably going to go and find some corn and eat it because that's making me hungry. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.